Have you ever wondered what happens when the smoke clears? What are the long-term effects of cannabis use? These questions aren't just for the curious, but for anyone who has ever considered lighting up a joint or indulging in an edible. With the growing popularity and accessibility of cannabis, it's becoming increasingly important to understand what this plant can do to our bodies and minds over time. Is it merely a harmless way to relax and unwind, or does it have more insidious implications? Does it play tricks on our minds, or does it leave a lasting imprint on our physical health? While some champion it as a panacea, others caution against its potential pitfalls. The truth, as always, lies somewhere in the middle, nuanced, complex, and worth exploring. As we delve into the effects of cannabis use, both short-term and long-term, we'll uncover some vital information that every user or potential user should be aware of. Cannabis use might bring about a temporary euphoria, but what happens when the high fades? The answer to this question is complex and multifaceted. In the short term, cannabis use can result in feelings of euphoria, altered perception, and an increase in appetite. These effects are often what attract individuals to the substance in the first place. It's a momentary escape, a temporary lift, a fleeting feeling of joy. However, the long-term effects paint a different picture. Regular cannabis use can lead to respiratory issues, similar to those seen in long-term tobacco smokers. Cognitive impairment, including memory loss and difficulty concentrating, can also occur. But it doesn't stop there. Mental health is also at stake. Long-term use can lead to increased anxiety, mood swings, and in some cases even depression. The euphoria of the moment could be replaced with a lifetime of psychological struggle. While the short-term effects of cannabis might seem appealing, it's important to consider the long-term implications that could potentially impact your health and well-being. As time goes by, the physical toll of cannabis use can become increasingly evident. Let's delve into some key physical effects. Over the years, consistent cannabis consumption may lead to respiratory issues. This could range from chronic bronchitis to an increased risk of lung infections. Just like tobacco, cannabis smoke contains harmful chemicals that can irritate your bronchial tubes and lungs. Then there's the cardiovascular risk. Frequent use of cannabis can raise the heart rate for hours, potentially increasing the chance of heart attack or stroke. This risk magnifies for those with existing heart conditions. Another important aspect to consider is dependency. Over time, heavy users might find themselves needing more cannabis to achieve the same effect, a clear sign of tolerance. This can lead to cannabis use disorder, which causes users to prioritize the drug over other important life aspects. The physical toll of long-term cannabis use can be severe, impacting critical aspects of a user's health. Beyond the physical, the psychological effects of long-term cannabis use can be just as concerning. At the forefront, we have potential cognitive impairment. Research has shown that chronic cannabis use can lead to issues with memory, attention, and problem-solving. These cognitive deficits can persist even after discontinuing use, potentially affecting one's ability to function optimally in everyday life. Then there's the significant link between long-term cannabis use and mental health issues. Studies have indicated an increased risk of conditions such as depression, anxiety, and psychosis among chronic users. The interplay between cannabis and mental health is complex, and more research is needed to fully understand it. Finally, let's not forget the impact on one's quality of life. Chronic cannabis use can lead to dependence, disrupting work, relationships, and personal growth. It's important to remember that while cannabis may offer temporary relief or pleasure, the long-term consequences can be severe and life-altering. In the realm of the mind, long-term cannabis use can have profound and lasting effects, leaving a mark on a user's mental health and overall life quality. From the individual to the community, the ripple effects of long-term cannabis use extend beyond the user. Let's delve deeper into these social implications. Firstly, relationships can be heavily strained. Friends, family members, and romantic partners may find themselves dealing with the fallout of the user's dependency. This can lead to emotional distress, trust issues, and in some cases, severing of ties. Secondly, Let's consider the workplace. Chronic cannabis use can lead to decreased productivity, lower job satisfaction, and in extreme cases, job loss. This can subsequently result in financial difficulties, further escalating the user's stress levels and potentially exacerbating their dependency on cannabis. Lastly, there's the societal impact. The increased healthcare costs associated with managing the physical and psychological effects of long-term cannabis use put a strain on public health resources. The legal implications of cannabis use, such as penalties for possession or use, can also lead to a cycle of criminalization and stigma. In summary, the social impact of long-term cannabis use is far-reaching. It affects not just the user, but also their relationships and society at large. Recognizing this holistic picture is crucial in understanding the full spectrum of consequences associated with chronic cannabis use. We've journeyed through the highs and lows of long-term cannabis use, looking at the physical, psychological, and social impacts. It's clear that the effects extend far beyond the user, touching every facet of their life and even rippling out to affect the larger community. These impacts range from health complications, strained relationships, work-related issues, to societal burdens. As we wrap up this exploration, we encourage you to continue educating yourself about the potential risks and consequences associated with long-term cannabis use. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions. Thank you for taking the time to educate yourself on this important topic. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, knowledge is power. We hope you found this exploration as enlightening as we have, and we look forward to guiding you through more complex topics in the future. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking content.